everybody. We're live for another amazing episode of Get Real with Danna and Ginny, except for Ginny. We're live, honey. Wake up.
What?
Wake up.
Is it time to get up?
Yeah, it's time to wake
Are
up.
we live?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
We're live.
Hey, everybody.
Yeah, we're live. Hey, you got your
Welcome
earphones on and everything. I wonder how that happened.
I don't know. I must have fallen asleep listening to one of our sleep meditations.
That's right. You definitely must have. Okay, I got to make sure we all ready for sleep here. Okay. Of course, we want to make sure everybody knows we're here with the one of our team experts and fabulous people, Mary Shomon.
Hey.
Thanks so much for being here with us, Mary, to talk about sleep optimization for thyroid patients. This is such a huge topic, and you guys, we know, we have heard from you how big of a problem this is for you. So we are here to offer you solutions, tips, tricks, hacks, tools, you name it. We have the solutions you need to help you sleep better at night. We did an informal poll on Instagram, and we asked you guys, do you sleep well? And 90% of you said no. I mean, this is a huge, huge problem in the sleep community. So we're really excited to be here with Mary today to talk about how we can all get better sleep. So welcome. Thank you for joining us. And thank you for coming to our pajama party, Mary.
Oh, I'm excited. I'm in my bed too, and all comfy and ready to talk about sleep.
Awesome. Well, before we dive in, I wanted to just give everybody a quick heads up that our upcoming Thyroid 30 Wellness Adventure, we're just a little ways out from opening registration up for that. So if you're interested in participating in that, please make sure you click the sign up button on our Facebook page so you can join our mailing list. That's the best way to stay in the loop. Otherwise, if you just want to learn more about Thyroid 30, you can go to thyroidrefresh.com/thyroid30. But we're really excited about that upcoming wellness adventure that we just finished the winter one, and it was incredible. We had such an amazing group of people that were so into it. We saw some fabulous success stories and got a lot of amazing ideas and support from each other. And it was just such an awesome experience. So we hope you guys will consider joining us for our next one.
Let's try that view for a minute. Changed up the view a little bit. I don't know if y'all can see it, but I can see it. Sorry about that. So I've got to do the technical side over here. You know, I'm in bed and I've got duties to do. You know, I've got my curlers in, and okay, so I'm all ready. Now, just really quickly for sleep optimization, I'm not sure sleeping with curlers is the way to go. So I might have to take these out before I go to sleep. Okay, let's talk to Mary. Mary, you know how important sleep is. Why don't you talk to our viewers about it a little bit?
Well, sleep is one of the key foundational elements of good health in general, and in particular, it's absolutely crucial for thyroid patients.
Uh-oh,
she froze.
She did freeze. She did say she was getting some big snow.
Uh-oh,
where'd she go?
The real important element of what's happening when we're sleeping is it's like the factory has a night shift and the hormonal factory is going to work. And so nighttime, when we're sleeping, is the time when thyroid hormone is actively produced. Adrenal hormone is actively produced. Growth hormone is actively produced. And so if we are shortchanging our sleep, we're shortchanging our hormones. It's as simple as that. It also affects our immune system. Not having enough sleep will lower our immunity. It's going to make you more hungry. It's going to make you more tired. It's going to lower your metabolism. It's going to make you more brain fogged. So almost all these symptoms that people complain about related to thyroid are oftentimes are actually related to a lack of sleep and not getting enough sleep. And for thyroid patients, you know, the average amount of sleep that Americans get is about 6 hours. But many of us need more than that. We need 7 or 8 uninterrupted hours of good quality sleep. And many people are not getting it. I mean, a lot of people complain they're tired, and I ask, how much sleep are you getting? And they say, well, 5 or 6 hours a night. not enough. It's not your thyroid necessarily making you fatigued if you're not getting 7 or 8 hours a night of sleep. So if I can emphasize anything, this is a foundational thing. If you don't get the sleep thing right, a lot of other things aren't going to work.
So true. Great
That's
point,
true.
Karen. Yeah, Karen, can you see what she said right there? Good morning. Make sure you are warm and comfortable. No obstruction.
Have we lost Danna?
Uh-oh.
No, I can still hear Danna.
No
I
obstruction
can't
in the
hear
bed.
her. I've lost her.
Like
Oh, no.
dogs hogging the covers or hogging your pillow. Can you hear me again now, Mary?
I've got a blank screen, unfortunately, with her
Uh-oh.
her box. I'm not seeing or hearing anything from her.
Okay. Well, your connection, Mary, has kind of come in and out. So because I can see and hear both of you just fine.
All right. Do you want me to
so-
try signing back in?
Sure.
Sure.
Okay. Why don't I try that and we'll see if that works better.
Okay.
All right. I'll be right back.
See you on the flip
Okay.
side.
So, guys, while we're waiting for Mary to come back, we want to make sure that you know about our brand new bundle. If you don't know this already, we put together some incredible bundles on Thyroid Refresh that are kind of like deep dive courses into many different topics. And we just put together a sleep bundle. This is brand new, and we're really excited about it. So that's kind of what inspired us to put this Facebook Live together with Mary today, because we know this is such a huge topic and something that so many of you need help with, us included. Sleep has been huge for both Danna and I. But our brand new sleep bundle has, oh, there she is. Okay, Mary, can you hear and see both of us?
I can. Everything's back to normal.
Great.
Oh, great. So, 1 second before we dive back into our interview, I was telling the listeners about our brand new sleep bundle that we just put together. It's got your amazing article on the importance of sleep and sleep hygiene for thyroid patients. We have another article from Catherine Watkins on hacks you can use to bulletproof your sleep. So just kind of simple tips and tricks you can do. We have a sleepy time log, which is this great little tracker that you can print out, and you can track the hours you slept and fill out your corresponding energy level. And so those little tricks just bring so much awareness to how much are we really sleeping? Is our sleep broken? Are we napping? How does that factor in? And how does it play out in how we feel every day? So that's just, our sleepy time log is just an amazing little tracking tool that people can use. We also have Fern Olivia's restorative evening yoga sequence, a great way to wind down in the evening. And then we have 2 bedtime meditations. One is a tension relieving meditation, and the other one is a yoga nidra style meditation, which yoga nidra is yogic sleep. So you can either use that to kind of before you fall asleep at night to go into an extremely relaxed and restful state, or say you just need a restorative break during the middle of the day, you can do this yoga nidra style meditation and get the equivalent of, I can't remember what it is, Danna. Do you remember what it's? Something crazy, like 1 hour of yoga nidra is equivalent to
20
4
minutes.
hours of actual sleep or something like that. But it's a very deeply restful guided meditation. So all of that is in our brand new sleep bundle. We hope that you guys will go over and check it out. Some of that content is free for those of you who aren't already Thyroid Refresh members. So we're really excited about that and very excited to be back with Mary talking about sleep. So you were talking about amount of sleep. Can we go into a little bit more on that? 7-8 hours, that's the sort of general recommendation. Do you feel that that's true for everyone? Do thyroid patients need more? Does it depend on the individual? What's your take on that?
There are apparently the rare individual that can function at full capacity on 4 or 5 or 6 hours a night. But studies have shown that the vast majority of people are compromised in some way with that amount of sleep. So most of us need at least 7 hours. And when it comes to thyroid patients, I don't know that there have been studies specifically, but, for 20 years, I've talked to thyroid patients who are exhausted if they don't get at least 7 to 9 hours a night, and myself included. And so my theory is that for whatever reason, whether it's the metabolism being slower or the immune system being affected or a greater need for the hormonal factory to go to work, or things just moving more slowly in general, I think we need at least, I think we should shoot for 8 hours. I think that really is a good target for most people. But you can't start, you can't go from 5 hours a night to 8 hours a night. You have to work up slowly. So a lot of people decide to add maybe 15 or 20 minutes earlier bedtime for a couple of weeks, and then add another 15 or 20 minutes. So they work up to getting more sleep. And any extra hour of sleep that you can get is going to have an impact on your health. It's going to increase your immune system and your immunity. It's going to lower your insulin resistance. It's going to improve your brain fog and concentration and your overall energy. And it's going to get your hormones back into better balance. Because when we're operating on not enough sleep, we are just wreaking havoc on hormones, blood sugar, metabolism, brain function, concentration. Every single thing you can imagine is going to be affected negatively. So again, I go back to the point I made earlier. It's a fundamental. If you're not getting enough sleep, you can take all the energy supplements in the world, but you're going to basically be beating a dead horse. So we want to deal with the sleep, and it helps again keep the thyroid, the adrenals, and the other hormones in balance and in check.
Really just can't function without sleep. But also the brain needs to get rid of all the trash. The brain really needs time while you're not awake and functioning that way, whatever, to get rid of all the hormones and all the things that it's used up during the day. Isn't that correct, Mary?
Yeah, I mean, we know that from the standpoint of neuroscience, that sleep is a time when memory is cleared out, the day's activities, we store information. We are in a place where we can kind of clear out all that baggage and information that we're walking around with, and quieting the chattering that's going on in the brain constantly. And so it lets the brain kind of rehabilitate and detox, so to speak, as well as the rest of the body. So it's crucial for everything from head to toe, as far as I'm concerned.
Mm-hmm. Karen was just made a comment that it's really hard to get enough sleep when you're menopausal. And I know I've noticed a lot of hormonal correlations with how much sleep I can get. I have my sister and I say we have PMS related insomnia, and I have heard that from other friends too. Can we maybe explore how hormones and sleep interact?
And before that, really quickly, if anybody's out there, just to let the viewers chime in, just if you have trouble sleeping, just type yes, or me too, or something, so that we can know you're out there. Go ahead. Sorry, Mary.
Well, I mean, I think the thing with hormones is well known to many women. From the point you start having a menstrual cycle, some women find themselves extremely exhausted in that PMS period or unable to sleep. And then, I was somebody who slept beautifully until I got pregnant. I don't know about you folks, but from the point I got pregnant, all of a sudden I was up at 3 a.m. And I think I caught up on every Law and Order episode ever made because I was up for hours in the middle of the night, which I had never had before. And menopause and perimenopause also has a tremendous effect on sleep. Not only does it disrupt sleep cycles, but then some people are having night sweats and hot flashes and all sorts of disruptions going on hormonally at night. So periods of hormonal change, puberty, pregnancy, postpartum, perimenopause, and menopause are well-known disruptors of sleep. And one of the key go-tos for me, now it doesn't necessarily work for everyone, but it's been an amazing asset and tool for me, is melatonin, which is a hormone that's available over the counter in the United States. and very low dose, 3 milligrams or less, taken about an hour before bedtime or an hour before you go to sleep, whichever is earlier, can help not only with falling asleep, but staying asleep. But then melatonin also puts that hormonal factory into overdrive. It helps with cortisol production, T4, T3 conversion. It helps with growth hormone. So it acts like a master conductor, and it gets all those hormones going during the nighttime hormonal factory production process. So for me, melatonin, I've been taking it for years, has been a tremendous asset. It also helps during periods of hormonal change by helping to regulate and balance hormones out to some extent, which then again also helps with sleep. So it has a number of different effects that I find particularly helpful. So it's something I recommend people look into. But again, you don't want to use large doses. You use a very small dose, and that seems to be very safe and effective. And a lot of people are doing it on a daily basis.
How about CBD oil? That's, now available widely and legal. So have you heard much about that as far as a sleep aid in particular?
Absolutely. And I've used it myself as well. CBD oil, it has an effect a little bit, for me at least. I don't know what it does for other people, but for me, it's like having a glass or two of wine without any of the alcohol effects. It sort of just kind of puts a nice sort of fuzzy blanket around everything, and it's very relaxing. And it for people who have anxiety, it lowers the anxiety level, which can make it easier for you to fall asleep. So I know some people that use it regularly as a sleep aid. Particularly good when you're using it as an alternative, maybe to medications, prescription sleep aids that can create habituation. We don't really have addictions necessarily to those sleep aids, but people can become too habituated to them. But in some cases, some people are using things like benzodiazepines, like Klonopins or clonazepam to go to sleep. And, we don't really want to be doing that on a regular basis unless it's absolutely essential, because those drugs are difficult to get off of, and they have, significant effects when you're withdrawing. So CBD oil can be a great tool. Another really helpful tool is Gabatrol or Cavanase. These are patented forms of GABA that cross the blood-brain barrier, and that is a neurotransmitter that helps to reduce anxiety and calm you down. So that's another supplement that a number of people I know are taking at bedtime to help with sleep as an alternative to higher powered prescription medications.
And definitely, of course, we always recommend you talk to your doctor or your healthcare provider, when you're taking supplements. And also just for the listeners to let you know, CBD oil does not have THC in it, which is the active marijuana ingredient, and so
Right.
CBD is definitely different. So there's some more information on our site about CBD if you want to check that out as well. There's a great article by our holistic nutritionist, Adrienne Klein. So anyway.
And one of the things that she really stresses is that there's kind of a gold rush on CBD oil right now. So it's incredibly important to do your research and find a high quality CBD oil, because there's just a lot of stuff out there that's just junk. You don't want to put it in your body. So,
yeah, absolutely.
So how about lifestyle? We talked about some of the supplements and things that people can use to help them. What are some of the sleep hygiene and lifestyle tools that help people improve their sleep quality and quantity?
Well, if there's one thing that I would recommend, probably above everything else, it's to unplug. That would mean, in that hour before you're going to sleep, turn off the television, put away your phone. Ideally, honestly, for the best quality sleep, you really should charge your phone in another room, not by your bedside. But I know oftentimes, and I'm one of the people as well, we don't even have landlines anymore. We have cell phones. And so if our kids or somebody needs to get in touch with us, we've got to have our phone there. At least mute it for everybody except the important people. So you're not getting notifications from Instagram, Facebook, text messages, who knows what, all night long, because that's going to keep triggering waking or keep you from getting into a deep restorative sleep. But turning off the television and the news and staying away from things that are stress-inducing are going to be very important. I mean, the last thing in the world you need that hour before sleep is to be watching, Fox
Game
News,
of Thrones,
NBC, or because, these days that's gonna make your blood pressure raise and make you crazy. So, stay away from politics, frightening things. Things that are going to induce stress or create stress, whether you're reading them, watching them, or listening to them. We want to keep the bedroom cooler for sleep, ideally dark with blackout curtains if you can, to avoid all light sources, and stay away from alarm clocks that project light to the ceiling or additional light sources, even a small light blinking or flashing in your room. Exactly. Good old fashioned plain alarm clock. Anything that emits light is going to also have a disturbance, because what that's doing too is it's going to reduce your body's natural production of melatonin. So we don't want to interfere with that either. So comfortable bedclothes, not too hot in the room, dark, avoiding electronics and overstimulating news and television. And for some people, guided meditation, breath work, prayer, simply listening to calming music, even the meditations that we have in the Thyroid 30 and Thyroid Refresh. Some people like the Calm app, which has bedtime stories built into it, which are fun. So anything we can do in that respect. The other thing would be if you have pets that are restless, you might want to keep them out of your bed. Now, I have a dog that gets in bed, goes to sleep, and doesn't move till the next morning. And she's just like a teddy bear. So I love sleeping in the bed with her. But I have another dog that climbs around, gets up and down, wants to go drink water. I mean, no, he has to stay out of the room, because otherwise I'm going to be up 20 times a night and feel like I have a newborn baby. Somebody mentioned snoring husbands. Yeah, that's an issue too. If you have a snoring partner, you may want to have them invest in some of the nasal strips, or go get a sleep study or check out what's going on with that, because snoring can really disturb good quality sleep. So all of these things, it's common sense. We know dark room, cool, comfortable, avoid distractions. These are all common sense approaches to trying to get a good night's sleep. A lot of people find even reading before bed, finding something fun that you like to read that's not too exciting, that you're not going to end up staying up till 3 a.m. reading, the next 5 chapters, is a good approach to taking it down a few notches before bedtime.
And it's funny, because we have really changed the way we sleep, especially with the electronics and TV and things over the last 30, 40, 50 years, right? And so we've come to be kind of attached to watching or doing or having the phone and those kinds of things. And so I really feel like if you try one simple thing first, and don't make it seem like you have to do it forever. Just try it and see how it works. So put your phone in the other room, as Mary said, one time. Try it for one day. Look and see what kind of works for you, instead of doing all of these things at once, because, you're like, well, all of this is stressing me out and I can't go to sleep without my phone, or I can't just try one thing. And then once you see that, the results from that, then you try something else. You add the things in, because we do know that the blue light does not work for us. So if you can get the blue blocker glasses, start there, right? So start and do some simple things that work for you. Certainly don't be overwhelmed, because that is defeating of the purpose that we're trying to help you with. But just take some small steps. Maybe turn your phone on airplane mode if you can do that. Because sometimes I know that I listen to one of the sleep apps that plays the music in the background. Actually, it's crickets, and it's outside campfire noises and things. And I just really like that. So sometimes when I can't fall asleep, I do that. So I like to have my phone. And so, there's some things that it's hard to do and give up. But if you start small and try certain things. You don't have to do them all at once, right? A cool, dark room is probably something you should try to do all the time if you can. But
absolutely. I mean, one of the things that I've seen a lot of people do is, the minute they wake up in the middle of the night, they reach for their phone to check for texts or notifications. I mean, even if you could break yourself of that habit, because that may be enough to wake you up, you're going to be forced into consciousness to pay attention to what you're reading, and then it may be a while before you're going to go back to sleep. So we definitely want to start with even the smallest steps of, putting the phone on do not disturb for a certain block of time, or muting everybody except, the important people whose calls you absolutely have to take at 3 a.m. Or, breaking yourself of the habit of constantly checking Twitter or Facebook or your text messages. Something small to get started to give yourself a little bit more uninterrupted sleep, because you can lay in bed 8 hours, but if you're not getting good quality sleep, I don't know if your mother's told you, but my mother always used to say, well, if you can't sleep, lay in bed. It's just as good. No, it's not.
Yeah.
It's not just as good, because we need stage 4 restorative delta sleep. That's when the brain is in a certain pattern and we're in a very relaxed state. And that's when all this restorative stuff is actually going on. And if we're not in that state, we're not going to get that benefit from the sleep. And to get in that state, we have to be uninterrupted, not waking up all the time, not looking at our phones, not having to get up and go to the bathroom 5 times during the night, and so on.
if you're a light sleeper too, sorry, Jenny, I'm talking here. Maybe earplugs. I have a couple friends who sleep with earplugs. If you're a light sleeper, maybe a eye mask. If you can't get the dark out thing going on. I have a friend who sleeps with hers, but just for the comfort of having, I've also heard of people using like the kind of weighted blankets.
The weighted blankets, right?
As that's a comforting thing or whatever. So there's lots of really cool things to try. Just start with one.
Well, and the earplugs can help with the snoring dogs and husbands too.
Yes, it can.
Right?
Definitely.
I wanted to just really quickly point out a tool for the listeners that is linked to in your article, Mary, The Importance of Sleep and Sleep Hygiene for Thyroid Patients. That's Mary's amazing article on Thyroid Refresh, and it's also part of our brand new sleep bundle that we hope you guys will check out. But there's a section in there on technology, and it links to information on how you can check on your device, how you can activate the device's blue blocking filters. And I'm going to admit, when I was editing your article and getting it ready for publication, I didn't know that was an option not only on my phone and my tablet, but on my computer. And that has made a huge difference. And you know what the coolest thing is? It's like a toggle switch. Turn on your, blue light filter. Yeah. And it automatically turns on according to the daylight hours.
Right.
So when the sun goes down here at 5, I can tell my screen kind of takes on a less bright hue. It goes a little bit warmer and maybe more yellowy, but it's so much easier on my eyes. And for somebody who sometimes has to work at night, it's really helped me, because otherwise I would be like, just, I have to do a few more things and then get in bed. And then I'm just like, It really does affect us. That's, I think, a huge part of the problem with technology. Yes. Mm-hmm. And yes, Vicki, the do not disturb option, those are great settings to make sure you activate on your phone. And you can, as Mary said, you can make it so that your kids, your spouse can still get through those, your core list of super important people can still call you at 3 a.m. But as far as all the telemarketers and robocallers,
oh, I like
buzzing
that.
Your phone in the middle of the night. Yeah.
Robocallers. Rebecca says, I found the blue blockers are so helpful, and she did start with one small step to make it manageable. And that's really the way you have to go with all of this. And there's really not a quick fix for anything in life. So, there's so many things that you can do. And so instead of making that overwhelming or thinking it's definitely not going to be manageable, just like Rebecca, start with one small step.
Right. One other thing I did want to mention, going back to the subject of supplements that are especially helpful for thyroid patients, is magnesium. because magnesium is a supplement that helps to calm muscle tightness and relax muscles, including the heart and other body muscles. So if you have muscle tension, if you lay down to go to sleep and that's when you feel your heart pounding, or your muscles are tight and uncomfortable, a lot of folks have found that using magnesium in some form, and there's different ways you can do it. You can soak your feet in magnesium oil, which is very comforting and relaxing. Nice tub of hot water with some magnesium oil in it. You can rub magnesium oil on your feet. You can take magnesium supplement in a capsule form. You can use it a drink form like Magnesium Calm, which comes in these little packets. So there's different ways that you can use magnesium, but taking magnesium at bedtime, some people swear by it as a really effective way to just relax the muscles, especially if you have restless legs or you get muscle cramps, foot cramps that wake you up or that keep you from being able to fall asleep. Magnesium seems to be especially effective. It's also really good if you're having a bout of thyroiditis. So whether you have Hashimoto's and you notice your neck is swollen or irritated and you feel like your thyroid is under siege in some way, or you're having a temporary thyroiditis flare up for some reason, magnesium can be especially effective at helping calm down that irritated and aggravated thyroid. And in fact, I know some doctors that say, look, if you're having a major thyroiditis flare, some sort of anti-inflammatory like an ibuprofen or a Curamin tablet supplement and some magnesium before bed can really help, because the bedtime is often the worst time for any kind of inflammatory and irritation and muscle related issues.
I swear by magnesium. I drink it almost every night. I use that Calm, Natural Calm. I get it in a big canister and measure out like a heaping teaspoon. It also really, that form that's in that particular product also helps with constipation, which is really common among hypothyroid patients. But when I drink it at night, I can just feel it helping. It's just that.
Calming.
It's very calming. It helps your muscles. It's just a nice way to wind down. It tastes good. It's like a, just a herbal tea alternative for the evening. And yes,
and our friend,
I agree.
Our friend Tiffany Mlodnich swears by magnesium flakes. So she puts those in her bath.
Right.
So there's lots of different forms you can do. And you just got to kind of experiment a little bit to see what works for you, right?
Right.
Exactly. The only thing with magnesium is when you're ingesting it, if you're taking it orally, whether it's the calm drink or by supplement, is more is not necessarily better, because if you take too much magnesium, that constipation fighting effect can become too much, and some people will get diarrhea or bowel intolerance. And so that's kind of a sign that you've hit a dose that's too high for you. And so you want to drop back to a place where you're comfortable, where it can help with elimination and regularity without.
Uh-oh. Are you there, Ginny?
Causing more discomfort.
Oh.
Are you there, Mary?
I'm here.
Okay, it was just a little blip. That's okay. We're all here. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but you were just kind of cutting out a little bit.
Oh, that's okay. I think my connection's a little rocky today.
Got lots of snow headed your way. Whoop.
Oh, yeah.
Got to bundle up.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you so much for being here with us today, Mary, at our pajama party, and for sharing always so much wisdom and knowledge and expertise and advocacy with us and with our community. We are so honored to have you as part of the Thyroid Refresh advisory team, and so lucky to have so much of your amazing content on the site. So thank you for being here with us.
It's my pleasure, and sleep well, everybody.
All right.
And before we sign off, don't forget to click the sign up button on our Facebook page if you're not already a part of our mailing list. It's the best way to stay in the loop. We'll send you amazing free content, information on our membership, information on Thyroid 30. Our next Thyroid 30 is about to open for enrollment. So if you are interested in that and want to stay in the loop, that is the best way. Also, if you go to thyroidrefresh.com, we would love for you to check out our brand new sleep bundle. Guys, this is full of incredible resources. Everything we talked about today is in there and more. Meditations, bedtime yoga routines, handy printable trackers you can use to up-level your sleep game. Mary's amazing article. We've got another one on sleep hacks that can help you improve your sleep. So guys, let's all get sleeping better so we can feel better. This is something we hear all the time from our Thyroid 30 players, don't we, Danna? With, oh my gosh, doing the, Thyroid 30, they have to get their recharge point, right? Everybody
Right.
sets their individual sleep goal. Like you talked about, Mary, it's like if you're getting 5 hours, maybe we're going to shoot for 5.5,
Right.
ideally more, but you got to work up realistically. But it makes all the difference in the world. So many residual symptoms can really be helped by just prioritizing sleep, which we don't do in this culture. We prioritize staying up all night and working hard, right? And being productive around the clock. And that's not always the best thing for our health. We got to take good care of ourselves. So we hope that this has been valuable for all of you listening. And we would love to see you around the Thyroid Refresh community. Thank you again so much for joining us.
Okay. Good night, everybody. Sleep tight.
Good night.
See you next time.
Mwah.
Mwah.